Why do we have the American flag behind us, man? What are we saying?
We're patriotic and we believe in the Second Amendment. I don't know about you, but I'm a strong proponent for towed artillery systems. I think everyone should have 155 millimeter howitzers available for self-defense. It has a very wide area of attack, and so I think it's a very it's a very potent weapon system, and we have rights in this country. And look, my pronouns are Zim Zer. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And I think in this video we're going to talk about maybe Bitcoin, maybe some cycle stuff.
Maybe whatever we feel like. Whatever we feel like. We'll talk about whatever we feel like. It's just whatever, however it feels. No facts. Anyways, man, Bitcoin right now. We're definitely going to talk about Bitcoin. The market is in frenzy, man. I really, guys, it's pretty clear recently. There's really not a lot to talk about in the world. Everyone's eyes are on Ukraine and Russia. My phone, everyone's texting me. Man, everyone's asking, what are we going to do, man? What are we going to do today? And today we're going to break down what's happening on the chart with Bitcoin, man. What do you think is going on? My bet is that we're going closer to $10,000 soon. I don't really think the $20,000 is going to hold. The indicators are showing it. I know you got your own whatever cycles slash whatever you call
accurate cycle indicators,
whatever you call that. Yeah, exactly, man. I think we're sitting at some sort of support, but this support is not really where it's going to be. I think the support is going to be closer to the 10 to the 13K region. That's what the VPVR is showing us. I also think that, RSI started to get back into the oversold region, which is previously, if we look back at these levels right here, just give me a second, brother, somewhere here, and here's the lowest RSI levels we ever had over on this side back in 2018 and 2020. Whenever we get to the oversold region, we start anticipating some sort of a movement happening or a cycle to the upside to happen. Right now we just entered that level. Are we gonna go out there soon? I don't really think so, man. I think the outside world, there's a lot going on with the war, with food shortages, with recession, with inflation, and I think majority of the people are actually going to hold on to their cash for a bit, man.
Look, what do you think? I'm really glad you brought that up, because I think that we're seeing a bunch of contradictory things right now. Number one, I think it's a good thing that you pointed out the RSI, because if we take a look at the weekly RSI, we are now officially in the oversold region on the weekly RSI. Very, very macro indicator. Historically speaking, we have two instances where being oversold marked the cycle bottom. Historically speaking, when we crash in a bear market, we've never really spent much time below the previous cycle all-time high. Looking at this time around, we kind of wicked down, but we're currently consolidating and holding above the previous cycle all-time high. So there are some indicators to suggest that this could be a local or cycle bottom. But given the macro context of the global risk-off approach, given how we've also historically had far greater drawdowns. I mean, I think first cycle was an 87% drop from all-time high, second cycle 84. So if we kind of behave the way we have similarly in the past, we're looking at maybe an 85% drawdown, which would bring us to right about 10K Bitcoin. So, like you pointed out, we have volume around 10 to 13K. That's historically about how much we've dropped. So there's arguments for this being a local cycle bottom. There's arguments for further downside. So I don't know about you, man, but how would you approach this market currently? Would you wait out, or would you be dollar cost averaging? Do you have a preference?
Right now, I would be definitely waiting out, man, because I really think what's happening outside the market, outside of crypto. Look, everything is down right now in crypto. Anything is a good buy right now, in my opinion, 100%. You can start DCAing right now, no problem. But I don't think it's it's gonna be. You got to give it more time just to kind of be more accurate in terms of your entry. But the problem is, I really think with the recession, with inflation, with all the money they printed, with the increasing gas prices, with what's happening in Russia and Ukraine, with the food shortages and all that stuff, I really do think that we are in for a very extended period of just sideways action. Bitcoin just has a bit more to fall, in my opinion, and I think all the altcoins are going to do the same thing, unless something, we're probably going to have some unique altcoins that might get adopted in some sort of institution, whatever the case might be. People might get hyped up about it. I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of a lot of news about the Bored Apes Yacht Club and how there's like a big conspiracy behind it. But maybe we'll talk about that in a different video. And they're saying it was like a crazy, but yeah, but NFTs, everything is down, and I think people just see it. Like, it's not really that hard to see that, hey, the whole world is some sort of a downtrend, and all different currencies are having problems. So in my opinion, I would not be DCAing right now, but that's only my objective opinion about it. I would wait at least for the end of the year.
Yeah, and again, if we fall the amount of time we have historically, usually takes about a year, a little bit over a year, for the bear market to be the only down bear market to truly be over. So if we can behave the way we have in the past, we're looking at maybe late October, early November, maybe end of year, early year for us, kind of a cycle bottom again if we behave the way we have in the past. And look, man, someone put, I forget who it was, but someone put it very well. We're seeing kind of 2008 kind of bank collapses happening in the crypto world. We're seeing Celsius pretty much go bankrupt. They're being sued. We're seeing similar stuff happen with BlockFi. These major centralized institutions are all shutting down. They're all lowering the rates. They're all cutting off withdrawals. Solana is going down. Man, it seems like every major centralized entity in crypto is having a very bad day. I mean, Luna's awful. We've seen some of the biggest collapses in crypto history, which is really reminiscent of what kind of happened in 2008 financial crash. And you pair that with the global risk-off approach, it just really seems like there's a strong case for much further downside. But look, man, to put it another way as well, I mean, 10K Bitcoin, that's really only a 50% drop.
It's nothing much.
With Bitcoin, it's really not much compared to how much we've dropped so far. Now, if Bitcoin drops 50%, what are altcoins doing? Altcoins are going to drop very, very hard. So, one thing I would want to keep in mind as well for the people, this is the VIX. This measures volatility and fear in the market. If we see this thing continue to go up, that's going to signal that we're going to see a continued risk-off approach with the greater markets. Looking at the S&P 500, this is a monthly chart right now. We're seeing that we're having quite a substantial correction. And I busted out, this is the 200 simple weekly moving average. Let me just confirm it is, the 200 simple weekly. And this has been a very historically relevant moving average where we found support on it twice during major corrections. But also, interestingly, once we got kind of higher time frame candles, weeklies, opening, closing below it, it signaled much further downside. So what I take from this is but like one example that signals an inflection point. There's multiple ways in which you can kind of try and find an inflection point. What an inflection point is kind of a major tipping point that marks kind of macro shifts in the state of the market. And so, if we kind of get weeklies opening, closing below this thing, I would kind of take that as a signal that we can have, a couple more weeks, couple more months of further downside. Now, if we kind of reach this moving average and consolidate, I would take that as, hey, we might be done dumping for the moment. So what I'm getting at here is that we kind of have to consider the global macro situation and not just what's happening with Bitcoin to try and figure out when a cycle bottom might happen.
100%. Just to also add to the whole risk-off approach, if we're looking at gold, man, gold has been going up this whole time. So ever since 2020, but ever since the whole craze of inflation and COVID hitting and all that stuff and all the money printing that's been happening, we've saw a gold go up from $1,200 all the way to the $2,000 dollars by the end of 2022. We've been hovering around that site for a while, but we've been really pushing since 2017, ever since they start talking about interest and inflation and all that other stuff. So adding to the whole risk-off approach, which isn't it crazy, by the way, the fact that, man, if you actually bought gold back in 2011, you just broke even.
Not only that, you actually lost money due to inflation.
That's actually crazy. But again, guys, it's pretty clear. We shouldn't just listen to what these institutions are telling us. We got to follow what they're actually doing. Hey, man, and everybody's actually going. Say that?
You're gonna upset Peter Schiff.
Bro, okay, whatever, man. It is what it is, man. We got the American flag behind us. We got the whole most powerful army in the world, man. We're just going in, man. People are gonna think we're racist and all that, man. But this is a stupid joke, man. We're not even American. But anyways, man. So what we're talking about, guys, we are waiting. We're trying to see where the prices are gonna land. We're trying to see how we're gonna feed the family in the next 6 months. We're trying to see. That's what everyone's trying to figure out. And keep in mind, Everyone's pulling out their cash, just like how Duquan did, just like how Celsius did, just like how all these banks right now dumped on all over our heads.
Yeah.
Take it easy, man.
Folks, my pronouns are Zimzer. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let me know what your preferred pronouns are down in the comments.
We're going to get canceled, you know that, right? That's probably the last video you guys are going to see us in, man. So, love you guys, man. Report the video and like and share and subscribe.
Don't tell them.